I went to my booking appointment, and before I went in there, she already had the results of my weight and things like that, which had already been done. And she made an assumption that I was going to be classed as high risk because of my weight, and I was going to be under a consultant. And at that point, I found that quite strange because she didn't know anything else about me. She hadn't been through what was green notes then. There's a checklist inside to sort of determine what risk you are. You know, do you smoke? Do you have any health conditions? Do you drink? And I didn't have none of that. So after she'd found out that little bit more about me, she then said, oh no, low risk, we don't need to put you under a consultant. Throughout the antenatal care that I've been through, it's not just always about you, it's not you seen individually, it's normally you're in a cluster of pregnant women. So actually the same rule applies to all of you, despite what your background is. There's no openness to finding out what else contributes to you as a person. You know, I could be quite low risk on that check sheet, but at home I could be high, my social environment could be quite high risk, if you know what I mean. It instantly got my back up because I'm the sort of person then to think, well, I don't know whether I trust you. I don't know whether I trust your judgments that you would make for my care. When I was 24 weeks plus 2 days, I'd had a really stressful couple of weeks. On the evening, just as I was about to go to bed, I had a bleed. Well, I thought my water had gone at the time, but when I looked down, there was a lot of blood. I went into Heartlands. I was taken to the sort of delivery suite there and sort of checked over. So I stayed in hospital for 2 days. I was in. So I was sort of like wondering why that had happened and if anything was going on that we couldn't see or that a test wouldn't tell us. So at the same time, I said to them, you know, when the consultant come round, you know, do you want to do a scan if it gives us a more clear picture of where this could have come from? No, they said it was fine. And I remember talking to a couple of midwives on the ward and saying, you know, is this going to ruin my chances of going to the the midwifery-led unit, which was Willow? And they were saying it shouldn't do, no, you should be fine, you should still be okay, as long as nothing else happens after this. So I left there and I felt comfortable knowing that I could still go to Willow. But in the back of my mind, I know how some of these systems work, and I know that because I'd been there previously where I've had to challenge the system in terms of where I could go to give birth. I thought I need to just know for peace of mind that I can definitely go to the midwifery-led unit. So when I had my community appointment with my midwife, she was unsure about what would happen or where I'd have to go. And then instantly I thought, no, I can't, I need to check this out, I need to make sure that I can go there. So I got in touch with a consultant lead midwife, explained the situation. I went in and met with her as well. And she said she'd look into it for me. She came back to me and said, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go to delivery suite. And I said, no, I want you to go back and get another opinion from somebody else, because I was in hospital for 2 days, the bleed tailed off, I've had no other bleed since. I was discharged, not under a consultant, I was discharged without having a scan. So I was discharged back to my community midwife to care for my antenatal care. So I want to know what it is, what's the reason why I have to go to delivery. She said, you can go to midwifery-led unit. She said, I'm happy for you to go there. She said, in fact, we need more women to be saying, well, why? Actually, let's look at this a bit more and challenging some of these professionals that sort of try to tell you how it is when it doesn't have to be that way. She did say she would prefer me to have a scan, and everything was fine, so they signed me off to go to the midwifery-led unit. But it was just on my mind for that whole 9 weeks, the uncertainty of where they was going to send me, and I was almost sort of prepared to fight it all the way, really. And I wanted them to know that I'd invested time and effort into thinking about the birth that I wanted. I wanted to be seen as an individual, not just as somebody who'd had another bleed at post 24 weeks. When I went through my first and second pregnancy, I let myself be treated the same because that's what I thought was supposed to happen. I thought I was following their lead, but actually I needed to follow my body's lead, and I needed them to have faith in me to do that. And I think just by changing that attitude and by encouraging women to do that more can help. To have gone to delivery suite would have meant for me not being able to have the pool. It would have meant for me being in an environment that wasn't my own, because I'd prepared to make the environment my own and very relaxed and calm. And it meant for me that I wanted to be supported in in hypnobirthing, which is the technique I was using to aid me with my birth. And I didn't want to be monitored continually or every 20 minutes. I wanted to have faith and believe that my body could do what it was meant to do, and that was to birth her. I'd sort of been in slow labour all day, still getting about and doing stuff, I was totally calm and relaxed. And then at about 8 o'clock on the night, what you would call contractions, but I would call a surge, started, and every 2 minutes I was getting a contraction. And I rang the maternity led unit, Willow Suite, about 27 times, and then eventually got through to delivery suite. And I was told that delivery suite was closed and that Willow was closed because of no staff. And I was on the phone, I was like, well, where do I go? I'm about to birth my baby, because I knew how quick my third child came. And she was like, oh, I'll have to call you back in 5 minutes because we might have to send you to City. And I was thinking, oh my God, I hadn't planned for this. I wasn't planning on going to City. It's an extra sort of 5 mile. I came off the phone to her and I just took a few deep breaths, and I thought, this is sent to test me because of all the relaxation and all the preparation I'd done. And I didn't feel scared then. I didn't feel worried, because I thought, if I birth her in the car, I birth her in the car. I'm doing it. I had faith, didn't need anything else. I just needed to be in my zone. She phoned me back and told me we was going to City, and on the phone she said, you've got to go to triage. And that's another thing. And I was like, no. I said, I'll go to triage and tell them that I'm here, but I'm not staying there. So we eventually got to City, and I was taken straight round to Serenity Suite. The midwife there, she was like instantly tuned into me, and she said to me, are you hypnobirthing? Obviously she could tell. And I said, yeah. And then she just guided me into the room and left me to it. She was there, but she trusted me. She could see what I was doing, and that I was capable and able to do it all on my own. And it was lovely because I felt safe. The room was perfect for me. The lighting, the environment, the pool. And literally my midwife sat by the pool. She listened in a few times as she needed to, but it didn't intervene with what I was doing. She observed my birth. She didn't aid it in any way. She didn't tell me what to do, and she trusted me. And that was so important, because that's the only way it can be, because I was doing it, nobody else. And then she birthed beautifully into the pool, and her dad caught her and passed her to me. And we both sat in the pool together and just was so overwhelmed and in love for that few minutes. From the differences that I've had in the births that I've had, that's the way birth, I think, should be guided. I was aware of other people in the ward. It was hot, so I was sitting in the chair upright, with large breasts, thinking I've got to try and put this baby to my breast, and I'm trying to get around here under my arm. Do I lie her flat across my body or what? I didn't know. So I went and asked for some help. I said, can someone please come round and help me? She's just woke up. She's just woken up, and I'd like to try and breastfeed her now. Somebody will be with you shortly, they said. Okay, that's fine. At this point, partners started coming onto the ward, other children, and nobody came round. And it was 3.5 hours later, and I was still sat there. My partner was there. I was in tears. I was distraught that I didn't get that support when I was there. And I tried the helplines, and they were telling me to sterilise spoons and to massage my breasts. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. I've just come out with this baby and you're telling me to do this. And I'm just thinking in my head, I need to feed this baby, I need to feed her. And I kept trying, but I was aware that I didn't want to keep trying and sort of stimulate my breasts and the milk flow, because I'd had mastitis previously and I knew I didn't want that again. So I sent my partner out and I ended up bottle feeding her, because I just couldn't get comfortable. I needed someone to sit with me and say, that's it, you're doing a great job, or, if that's not working for you, let's try this position. The message that they give you is sort of about breastfeeding, but I got nothing else. I got nothing else, apart from going to antenatal and seeing pictures of women breastfeeding, but they're not real pictures. They're pictures of babies that are latched on nicely, with women that have nice, perfect boobs that the baby can latch onto. They're not pictures of women in hot maternity wards with people coming in and out. Even in antenatal care, before, when I've ticked bottle feeding, that's it, it's been left. You know, we've never sort of discussed anything else. It's just, and actually, I think it's really important to talk to women about, okay, I know you've ticked bottle feeding, but can we just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to talk about breastfeeding and the benefits of it? And, you know, these are the sorts of things that can help you. And this is how you do hand massage if your baby can't latch on until someone can come out and see, you know, all those sorts of things, just that simple conversation. Opening it up, I had a natural urge to want to take the baby and put it to my breast. And it didn't work out for me because I didn't have those conversations. Now, after having my fourth, I know the benefits of breastfeeding. I know that breast is best, and I was happy to do it. But breastfeeding care isn't 9 to 5. Breastfeeding care and support is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because babies are born 24 hours, 7 days a week. One thing I found in my postnatal care when the midwife came out to see me was a lot of assumption again. The fact that, oh, well, you know, I don't need for me to go through it with you because you've had 3 children before, you know, so you know it's done. Or apologising for having to ask a question because it's been asked before. And I think that's really dangerous ground because I hadn't done it before. I hadn't brought a baby home to 3 other children, to my life as it is now. I hated that comment, and I would never make that comment to somebody else. I would never assume that they would know because they've had previous children, because it's always different.